I'm JBLB, and this is a Voice of the Storms starter box. In this are 10 starters from the last expansion from Magi Nation. That means we're looking at about 20 booster packs worth of cards from here. These boxes aren't very hard to find compared to the last box we opened. You can still get these from Hills Wholesale Gaming. Sorry for the shaky cam. And so, you can still get these from Hills Wholesale Gaming. You still have a lot of them, I'm pretty sure. But the booster boxes are a lot harder to come by. On eBay, a sealed booster box went for $510 at auction just recently. And that is about 36 booster packs worth. So I saw these starter things, and I thought, that seems like a great deal. For that same price, you could get like 60 booster packs worth, although you still get a lot of chaff, and you still have to get all the cool dice and things. But if anything, there's also a fun little lottery in this set where I don't think it was intentional, but maybe it was. Some promos were like randomly introduced. I don't know if you can pull them into packs, but you can pull them into the starter boxes because I just did in one off camera. It'd be pretty cool if we could do it again in this, but I'll show. This is probably the best possible thing we could open is an Ember Bard. We didn't just open this in this box, but this is what we would love to see. And let's see, so we're gonna keep on going through. All the fixed cards are at the start, but this is where a lot of the weird promos can actually be located. We got Frost Tyrant, who's in every single deck. And then Yarmarant is also the rare that's in every single deck. One upside down Planeswalker. Magic, not a Planeswalker, that's the wrong game. So, now we're into the random cards. These are about 2 booster packs worth. There should be 6 uncommons, 2 rares, and a couple of commons, and maybe a foil. Lerno. This is a very playable Nar Magi. A lot of the time, the third one out. Celebrated Hero. Underneath Kaibar's Teeth, Dual Magi. I needed one of these. Alright. And foil Zipperos. So yeah, this is probably going to be a disaster. I'm just going to keep the fixed cards and over here, the random ones here, so the random rares and foils in this pile over here. Oh, take all this stuff out. I was starting to save the deck boxes, but then I was like, I don't know. It's like, well, anyway, sorry, I'm getting so distracted. I really like this set because it has the 2 new regions, the Nar and D'Resh, which are respectively snow and sand. One thing I think is kind of cool is D'Resh was even getting preview cards as early as when I didn't see the Frost Tyrant at the front of the last one. That was like in all the others. I was like, oh, maybe this is one of the weird boxes. But the allocations are all over the place with these. Like, you'll see some cards will be upside down, and then there's like sometimes random promos, or like the foils will be upside down. I think we saw like in our last one. So it is why, even though these are fixed cards, I'm still going through them because you never know what you might think. The Magi are always the same. I got one starter yesterday that didn't have one of the fixed Magi in it, and I thought that was funny. I think it was a D'Resh one. There was nothing replacing it either. It was just like a deck you couldn't play out of the box. You'll see these Spirit of cards. Each region has one of these, I believe, except for one. I forget. There's like a thematic reason one of the regions doesn't have one. Someone smarter than me can maybe say in the comments. Sandkeep and Thast are our 2 rares. Thast is another Nar Planeswalker I needed. I don't have a lot of decks built so far, but Nar is actually one of them, because thanks to these starter decks and the cards not being available from this region and other expansions, it's pretty easy to build a Nar deck on a budget compared to some of the other regions that have like rarer cards from Awakening, Nightmares, Dawn, and Dream's End. There's a cool archetype built around this card. I know it's a common. There's like at least some in the starter deck, so we'll have tons of them, but I just want to highlight Sunburn. It's a really important common card. And it shows you don't just need rare cards to win in this game. Although I'm sure the deck has plenty of rare cards. It's built around the common. usual, complaining about all the Animite we're giving up. We would have so much Animite if it mattered. So yeah, you'll see the Frost Tyrants in the front of all of them except for the first one. It was kind of tucked a few cards back. Other than that, though, I think it's looked like mostly everything's been in order. Okay. Cork Scepter, Cyclone 6. We get to the rares, an Aula Mineseeker, the Roth version, and a Lightning Sand. So I don't know where else to get these starter decks in Hills Wholesale Gaming. They feel like kind of the last bastion of Magi Nation sealed product that I've been able to find. I am definitely just a casual person trying to find Magi Nation cards to open because I can't find them for sale. There's so many cards in this set we'd like to open, like Baby Hyren and Shadow Hyren. I believe are probably the two chasiest Hyrens that you can pull. Baby Hyren being the universal little tiny Hyren that can energize on his own and help you kind of cheat your other Hyren into play. Shadow Hyren just being a very competitive Hyren that also just looks really cool. He's got a shadow of a Hyren kind of against a rock. So those are both cards we'd love to pull, but there's also a lot of Magi we need. It's a pretty big set, so I think you're pretty unlikely to find any specific cards, which means we might have to go through a couple more of these boxes to track down a few of the more specific cards. So this card, Ka, I love, because I used to think in the art that this was like a human being, but I had it pointed out to me, it's actually a giant paraffin, which is like a really big creature, which means Ka is a really, really big creature. It's also a really cool archetype built around this, where Roth just kind of like protect the king. You just play the fattest creature in the game and try to make sure he lives and smacks. Oh, I love Brothers of Vengeance. I'm glad this card's an uncommon. It's so cool. I haven't pulled one yet. Traveling Healer, and Albra's Hourglass. Oh, I think I saw a flash of a foil. I feel like I found a lot of foils in these boxes. Like my other two, which is admittedly a very small sample size, is almost like every other box, every other starter box had a foil in it. Oh, nice. Treatment is real good too. And foil Kolirgar. That does not roll off the tongue. Counting this is rare because I love this card. It's really cool. Probably mingling these. I have so many other ones sold, like these ones I probably am going to recycle. Just because I don't know what to do with it. I'm not that sentimental with old sealed wrappers. And really, I don't really like keeping sealed product either. I like opening the packs that I get. It's why I don't collect sealed, because I just don't think I could hold on to it. Got itchy trigger fingers for pulling. One thing I wanted to note too, and so far we've very consistently had the rulebook and the energy tokens have been at the back, but I have opened some of these boxes where the rulebook will also be randomly placed in the middle. All right, so we got another one with the Frost Tyrants not in the front. One card in between it. Ugh, I can't stop whacking this thing. I'm sorry for any viewers that might have motion sickness. Yeah, so this is like, we randomly get one of our uncommons before the Magi, but the Magi are here. We'll see if that affects like our other commons. I'm gonna scooch these over here so I stop whacking them. So these ones are upside down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got a random extra uncommon. That's kind of cool. Tropical Jumbor and Ice Hyren. Yeah, dude, I love opening Hyrens. This is a cool one too. Any of the Hyrens that you don't pull from the starters are probably pretty nice to open. got a foil Tropical Jumbor to go with our regular Tropical Jumbor. That's pretty cool. And I'm putting Ka in the rare pile too. I need to keep those. Ah, I love this. The foils from this set almost feel shinier than the ones from Awakening, which I was just opening. Maybe it's the Peridwin in the background, though. I like that these are both versions of it, too, because this is a good chance to show. This set has a lot of dual region cards. You'll see this is the same card, but this is Weave / Peridwin. This one's Peridwin / Leave. Still functions as both regions, it's just kind of the different border background, but a really fun touch with some of these cards. I know some people prefer to have the version that matches the deck they're playing, but it just gives the player a little extra agency to pick out what they want. Or a little extra fury while opening packs and not getting the correct version that you want. Like, I know one of the cards in this set is Ember Hire. Wow, I can't open this one. Which, I think it's Narum in Cold, and it's a real cool looking Hiren. But I think it's played in Narum decks more than it's played in Cold decks, and I could be wrong. And so for that reason, I think people prefer to have the Narum version. But I don't believe it changes the functionality of the card. It's literally just how it looks. So Zala is the fixed rare in the D'Resh decks. Something I noticed that's kind of weird is the Nar deck has 2 fixed rares with the Frost Hiren and the Yaramant, but I haven't seen a fixed rare in the D'Resh decks besides the Zala. You might notice, too, that these are pretty warped. If you are buying from Hills, it might be because I live in a place of the world that's a different climate than where they're coming from, but I wouldn't blame them. These are really old cards. They've probably been sitting in a warehouse for a real long time. So. And that's a baby Hiren. All right. So this is the first one of these I've opened from any of these that I've gone through. I honestly was kind of starting to give a hope that I might pull my own fresh one. Although, of course, it's got a little ding, you know, even fresh out of the pack. Luckily, it's not like anyone's like trying to get NM Magi Nation cards, but you know, still, it's of all the cards to have a little ding, it had to be the baby Hiren. So I just want to show this card because I think it's really cute. We all love Hirens. It's a universal card, and it's very rare in this game for creatures to energize. There's so much text, I'm not sure if this will focus, but I love this card. It goes really well with Monarch Hiren. It's like not a competitive deck, but it's just thematically it's very fun to kind of search your deck for Hirens, cheat them into play. I've been brainstorming a lot that I can do with this card, so I'm really happy to have one. I touched on this in my other video, but the Hiren really are the most iconic things in this game. Like, there's plenty of other iconic creature types in Magi Nation, like Furox, Wasperines, Zixes, Weebos, Weeblets, but the Hiren are what we all love, man. That's what we keep coming back to, I feel like. So I did pull my Embervard in one of the D'Resh decks, and it was one where the Zala wasn't at the front. I get excited anytime I see, like, a card that seems, like, out of place, but so far this looks like a pretty normal one. Oh. Although that's a common before our uncommons, which is weird in the fixed slots. Huh, this one's all out of order. Oh, but an uncommon, or a foil Ka. That's a great one to get in foil. I love playable foils. Spirit of Envoy. And this is the card we were just talking about, the Ember Hiren in the Narum version. You can see from green, called is the red kind of fire energy folks. Cauldron of Ice. That sounds like a fun pack where the order was a little different. Always gets me excited. Honestly, these starters are really cool to open because, like, again, the booster packs are freaky expensive. Like, there's an auction going on, I think, for like 40 roundabout there, like booster packs, maybe like 39 on eBay right now. I'm curious to see what it goes for, because it's not a sealed box. But again, like this set also has a lot of playables that maybe other people are chasing. Maybe I'm the only insane person trying to like actually build decks without proxying them. But I think there's still a lot of these in stock though. So like, I wouldn't say the cards are particularly rare. It's not like Dream's End or Awakening where you just like can't find the cards in the wild. Like Voice of the Storm's cards exist. Alright, so we got one upside down one. So our rares are Quandrel and another Ice Hyren. I believe that's our third Ice Hyren. If we were looking for a playset, we got it. That's so funny in the same box that we could pull the same Hyren like 3 times. I don't even think any of them are foil. Another foil. I think this is our 4th foil. It's red set. It's pretty close to 1 in every 2 starter decks. But yeah, that's so funny. I just want to double check here. Yeah, that's 3 Ice Hyrens that we pulled out of this box. Well, with these and the baby Hyren, we might have to start making ourselves a Hyren deck. Alright, so we're down to 2 of these left. I am keeping all these dice and these energy tokens. I love these. Really can't have enough of them. Okay, now there's all. So we're going through all the fixed cards. And then we get to our random cards. Another, I love the 2 our owns back to back. Micah's a very famous Magi Nation character, and that there was actually a story campaign where whether she would come out evil or good. And I believe she ended up becoming redeemed, which is why this card ended up being printed as just underneath, and not, you know, the core that we've seen kind of she danced around in the past. Then an Ust and a Shadow Hyren. All right, so that's pretty sweet. So again, this is the, I think the 3rd of these starter boxes I've pulled, and that's the first Shadow Hyren I've opened, and the first Baby Hyren I've opened. I haven't seen either of these 2 cards in any of these so far, which makes me really happy, because I would like to get 3 of each eventually, which is probably going to be a long task. Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. We got ourselves a foil Wentz the Wanderer. Very famous Magi Nation character, because I believe he had a rare in the first set. It's one of those who's been around the block. But this is the Weave version, which I prefer, because personally the Weave, I think, is the coolest of all the factions. Huh. It's neat. Alright, we're on our last one, but at this point, I think barring a promo, we've probably opened about as well as we could with the Baby and the Shadow Hyren. And again, this set has a lot of rares. Like, I think in Awakening there were like 60 rares, so you're generally more likely to pull the cards you're looking for if you open up a lot of product at once. But I haven't counted the rares in Voice of the Storm, but I know there's more cards. I'd assume there's more rares, and so it feels like it's hard to pull the cards that you're looking for. So, Zala in the front. So yeah, the random cards, Spirit of the Core. The Fiend of Ferox and a Room Shadow Magi. I love this. We were talking about Ferox as a tribal, and Day. Perfect. I love just getting all the rare Magi, because they're really what let you like build the decks. Like, you need the creatures for all the decks, but a lot of the decks, I feel like, you know, it starts with the Magi. You can play any creatures with the Magi, but if you want a Magi-specific ability, you kind of need to have that Magi. That's at least how I feel about it. Same time, you only need one of the Magi, so the moment you start getting duplicates, they aren't as useful to you. But that's my first Fiend of the Ferox. That's useful to me. So, we mentioned the promos at the start. We didn't find any in here, and that's to be expected. The promos are extremely rare in this set. And they're not supposed to be in there, so it's not like you're supposed to get promos. I genuinely don't know how that worked. Maybe some Magi Nation historians could mention more better what happened with the allotments, but I know I'm going to grab out of my binder. We didn't open this in this box, but I did pull 2 of these back to back in another of the starter boxes I opened. Again, not booster boxes. I haven't opened any booster packs from this set. But the starter boxes seem pretty dang good, minus the fact that they're a little curled. I'm going to show... Oh yeah, I'm so happy with this. This honestly... Maybe I missed some of like the uber valuable cards, but at a quick little glance, I'm extremely excited for all of these, and I think the rest of these I can find something to do with. Oh yeah, Caw is great. Only need 1 more. Actually, I think I have some others that I traded for. So anyway, thank you for sticking with me at this point. I just wanted to show you, in case you're looking to buy these, this is kind of what you can expect as far as Pringles. These are all the fixed cards that I just put in a stack right here. So you can do like a squeeze, and they're still a little rounded. But again, like, I would not blame the retailer for that at all. They're old packs. Just know what you're getting into if you're looking for them. I'm J Billy B. Magi Nation's pretty fun. Have a good day, everyone.